Chapter 5: Efficiency through change of pace. Here how he clears the point of phase. The Latins have bequeathed to us a word that has no precise equivalent in our tongue. Therefore we have accepted it, body unchanged. It is the word tempo, and means rate of movement as measured by the time consumed in executing that movement. Thus far, its use have been largely limited to the vocal and musical arts, but it would not be surprising to hear tempo applied to more concrete matters, for it perfectly illustrates the real meaning of the words to say that an ox cart moves in slow tempo, an express train in a fast tempo, or guns that fire 600 times a minute shoot at a fast tempo. The old muzzle loader that requires 3 minutes to load shoot at slow tempo. Every musician understands this principle. It requires longer to sing a half note than it does an eighth note. New tempo is a tremendously important element in a good platform works, for when the speaker delivers a whole address at very nearly the same rate of speed he is depriving himself of one of his chief means of emphasis and power. The baseball pitcher, the bowler in the cricket, the tennis server all know the value of change of pace, change of tempo, in delivering the balls, and so much the public speaker observes its power. Change of tempo lends naturalness to the delivery. Naturalness, or at least seeming naturalness, as was explained in the chapter on monotony, is greatly to be desired, and a continual change of tempo will go a long way towards establishing it. Mr. Howard Lindsay, stage manager for Miss Margaret Anglin, recently said to the present writer that change of pace was one of the most effective tools for the actor. While it must be admitted that the stilted mouthing of many actors indicated cloudy mirrors, still the public speaker would do well to study the actor's use of tempo. There is, however, a more fundamental and effective source at which to study naturalness, a trait which, one lost, is shy of recapture. That source is the common conversation of any well-bred circle. This is the standard we strive to reach on both stage and platform, with certain differences, of course, which will appear as we go on. If speaker and actor were to reproduce with absolute fidelity every variation of utterance, every whisper, grunt, pause, silence, and explosions of a conversation as we find it typically in everyday life, much of the interest would be leave the public utterance. Naturalness in public address is something more than faithful reproduction of nature. It is the reproduction of those typical parts of nature's work which are truly representative of the whole. The realistic story writers understand this in writing dialogue, and we must take it into account in seeking for naturalness through the change of tempo. Suppose you speak the first of the following sentences in a slow tempo, the second quickly, observing how natural is the effect. Then speak both of the same rapidly, and one difference. I can't recall what I did with my knife. Oh, no, I remember, I gave it to Mary. We see here that change of tempo often occurs in the same sentences, for the tempo applies not only to a single word, groups of words, and group of sentences, but to the major part of public speech as well.